Every day I, 37 female, am more and more distraught by how much I've destroyed my life. Just a few months ago, I had everything I could have ever wanted. I was engaged to my best friend, 40 male plus, my partner and everything. We were planning our future, talking about marriage, kids, and how we'd retire early and travel the world together. We even had this shared vision of growing old side by side, moving to a beach town one day, and just enjoying life together without a care. My partner had worked so hard, saved so much, and we were financially set. I felt like I was living in a fairy tale, like nothing could go wrong. But I threw it all away. I had an affair with my coworker, and I don't know why I let myself do it. I was living in a fantasy with someone I barely knew, someone who gave me attention at a time when maybe I felt unseen or unappreciated in such insignificant ways. It was like I was caught in a perfect storm of my own chaos. I wasn't thinking about the future, about all that I had, or the pain I'd caused the person I love most. Now I'm left with nothing but pain. My job is gone. My career, something I worked so hard for, was wrapped up in this relationship with my coworker, and I had to quit it because the scrutiny was too much. I felt I'd lose it if I had to go to work and hear women sneering behind me one more day. My partner, rightfully, couldn't look at me anymore and asked me to leave. I lost friends who were like family, and my own family barely speaks to me now. They're embarrassed, disappointed, and I don't blame them. I made a choice that shattered the lives of so many people, and there's no fixing that. What hurts even more is that I've become someone I never wanted to be. I don't feel like anyone will ever see me as a potential partner worth building a life with. I've shown that I can't be trusted, that I make reckless choices, that I don't value what I have when I should. And even if someone did want to be with me, I'm not ready for that. I need so much time to rebuild, to work on myself, to figure out how to trust myself again before I could even think about asking someone else to trust me. The worst part is thinking that I might end up alone. My biggest dream was to have a family of my own, to raise kids, to create a life built on love and commitment. Now that feels out of reach, and it's my own doing. I don't know how to handle the days, let alone the future. I wake up with this ache, this crushing regret, knowing that what I lost was something I could have had forever. I feel so alone, so broken, and the remorse I carry for hurting my partner, someone who gave me everything, is unbearable. I don't know how people live with this kind of regret. I don't know how to move forward when it feels like I've permanently stained my life with this one terrible choice. I go to my new seedy job in the seedy office because I have to, but beyond that, I barely have the energy to do anything. I don't know how to find new friends or make connections because I feel like anyone who knows my story will see me for what I did and walk away. I feel hopeless and so sorry. If anyone has been where I am, how do you even begin to live again after this? Update: I was in a long-term relationship with the love of my life, and we were heading toward marriage. I had everything: my dream job in a competitive industry, a great salary, a perfect apartment in an amazing city, and friends I considered family. It was everything I had ever dreamed of, and I destroyed it all. I had an affair with someone higher up in the company. He was respected, established, and a figure many people looked up to, including myself at one point. We were caught by another superior in the office, and it spread through the company like wildfire. HR got involved, and my AP was made to retire. He kept his pension, his benefits, but his family walked away. I lost everything, including my career, my dignity, any semblance of stability. My fiance found out through office gossip within minutes. He packed my things, ended things with me in a single blow, and moved to another country shortly after. He didn't even ask me for the truth. He just knew, and that was it. He didn't even want a fact check. He believed a third party over me without any question. It's like everything shattered overnight, with no chance to explain, no chance to apologize, no chance to hold on to anything. I spiraled after that. I spent everything I had saved, drowning myself in drinking and drugs to numb the pain, but all it did was push me further into debt and despair. Now I'm living in a small house with roommates I barely know, sleeping on a mattress on the floor with my clothes in a suitcase. I managed to find a meager job, but it's miles away from the dream job I once held. And working there, surrounded by people who don't know my story, I get flashbacks to the life of luxury and comfort I once had. It's paralyzing. I can't seem to find any sense of normalcy or hope in this new version of my life. I've burned so many bridges. I feel like I've ruined every relationship I valued, and I have no friends left. The only people who still talk to me are my mom, who doesn't understand the full scope, and my AP, who is miles away and struggling with his own fallout. I'm in intensive therapy, which has been a lifeline, but it's so expensive, and sometimes I question if it's even helping. Therapy feels like one tiny tool against a lifetime of damage I've caused, and while I'm working on making amends, the weight of it is overwhelming. Every part of my life needs rebuilding, and I don't even know where to start. I think about moving to a new city, taking on a fresh start, finding a new job, and just leaving all of this behind. But I know I can't keep running from my mistakes. Part of me is so ashamed that I even feel like I don't deserve a fresh start. I was once this vibrant, successful, social woman with so much potential, and now I'm a shell of who I used to be. It's terrifying to think I may never be that person again. I'm trying to find gratitude in the little things, to learn patience, to stop myself from acting impulsively. I'm trying to set goals, even small ones, to give myself a sense of direction. I'm learning what truly matters in life, but it feels like such a steep, uphill battle. Has anyone ever destroyed a life they once loved so completely and managed to rebuild? I don't know if I'll ever feel like I deserve a second chance, but I desperately want to hope that one day I can look back and feel proud of who I've become. Story 2. I know what I did was terrible. It's truly the worst thing I've ever done, and I still can't believe I let it happen. The affair was purely physical, and looking back, I can see it was all about ego boost for me. It had nothing to do with my boyfriend or any romantic interest in anyone else. But I cheated, and I live with that choice every day. When my boyfriend heard rumors, I denied it. Over and over, I kept lying to his face. It put a strain on our relationship for a while, but eventually we just stopped talking about it. I thought, by not telling him, I was sparing him the pain of knowing. I convinced myself that carrying the guilt on my own was punishment enough. But the weight of that guilt is beyond words, especially because he's the kindest, most loving person I've ever known. He's been my rock, my safe space, and I shattered his trust for something that meant nothing. For a long time, I just buried it and tried to move forward. I knew he was the one for me, and even after my mistake, we ended up having the best time in our relationship. Those months were honestly the happiest I've ever been, and he said the same. I thought maybe we could just keep going, that maybe I'd done the right thing by staying silent and letting us enjoy that happiness. But fast forward to now, and a few days ago, he brought up that he still has some trust issues lingering. That's when it hit me that I couldn't keep living with this lie between us. I finally told him the truth, and it's fresh and painful for him, even though it's months old for me. I want to give him as much empathy and love as he needs, and I want to do everything I can to support him in his healing. I'm not sure how to handle the details, though. Part of me thinks I should give him everything he wants to know, no holding back. But I also don't want to make things worse by giving him information he'll end up replaying in his mind. I'm torn between being completely open, which I owe him, and sparing him any extra pain. If you've been through something similar, did knowing the details help? Or do you wish you'd never known? The other thing that keeps running through my mind is that time we shared after my mistake. It was the best we'd ever been. I don't want to use that as an excuse for what I did, but I can't help but think back to it as something that could remind us of the love we had. Is it wrong to bring that up now? I'm just trying to figure out how to be there for him in the best way possible, hoping he'll one day want to rebuild with me. If you've been in this position, I'd appreciate any advice. I'm scared I'll lose him for good, but more than anything, I want to make sure I'm doing the right things for him now.